Right, that's perfect.
Okay, I will say my good friend Arijit.
Right. You can say like
You
this.
can call me.
I can see your two cameras working, I guess. You need me to
Yes.
unmute both of them?
That's not a problem. I mean, this is a way to make sure that you will receive video and audio by two devices, because of
Yes.
course we have the VPN now, no?
Yep.
For the Chinese limits. So the previous conference I've been doing, they were also in this way. So you will not lose any part of my face, even if it's not
Right,
really
right.
so handsome. I hope to have arguments better than my face. So I just want to tell you, be strict to the questions that I told you, because I prepared my conversation, so I know what to say basically.
No problem. So I'm just waiting for 30 to 40 seconds to accept more
Yes.
participants. A lot of people are
Yes,
waiting. So I usually
there is
close
some
the
other people. Yeah,
so I
there
usually
is some
close the
other.
session in the exact timing, like 3 o'clock. I'll be closing the room. So before that, people will join.
There is also some professionals yeah, I see Omar, for example,
Oh,
that they
hi Omar.
are ciao Omar, ciao, that they are participating. I think there is somebody also from Milan that they asked me for the link. I just thought that it was interesting to have more people besides your regular audience.
Sure.
So I
So
think it's interesting.
in your conference, you will actually have, or rather, no, he already joined. So you will have owner of one of the finest college over here in Calcutta. He is already here.
Oh,
His name is Mr. Chopra. Then the principal of that college, Mr. Devashish Ray, he also joined. Then I can,
I'm
Hi.
honored. Nice to meet you.
Same to you.
and I can see a lot of other professors who already joined. I can see 2, 3 industry guys from here, and then I can see only one student from
Yes.
the game development course that we run here in Calcutta. So
Okay, great.
I run India's one of the oldest game development and VR company, as you know.
Oh, great. I see that there is a lot of interest for new media and technologies there in Kolkata, because I already, as I told you, I did a conference and I have a long relationship with somebody there from the academia. Actually, I thought you knew about him through them. But anyway, as I told you, my background is film industry. We will reach, the argument of virtual reality at the end, explaining basically what are we doing. I will be really technical, but I will try to be able to make understand to
Let's go
everybody
for a generic.
my delusions. Yeah.
Yes, the generic discussion will be good enough, I guess. So
Yes.
because it's time, so let me introduce you in my way. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Pironi from Italy. He's right now sitting in China doing film production for the last 15 years. He is a director and awesome geek, and does multiple number of creative stuff, creative works. Very nice gentleman, a person good in heart, and doing massive work in the movie and entertainment industry. So I can see Professor Ujjwal K. Rai Chaudhary as well, the Pro VC of Adamas University, from one of the largest university in the city. So over to you, Mr. Pirani, and please, I'll put myself in mute mode so that there is no problem, and I'll control the whole webinar. So over to you. Please introduce
Thank you very
yourself.
much. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome everybody. So yes, I see now the screen passing through several guests. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you to my friend for inviting for this conference. As you said, I work in film industry for almost 20 years, more than 15 years actually. And I live here in China since 7 years. When I decided to expand my experience of producer and filmmaker in general into Asia as well. So I'm based in China, but I've been working there, in Korea, and also actually we are starting to a project there in your country, in India. So thank you very much to everybody. I think that in this moment where we are all in some way stuck home, actually here in China already we can go out since several weeks, but we are in the apartment. But anyway,
I have an interesting question. I have an interesting
yes.
question to you. Mr. Pedri, how many industries are hurt by COVID-19? We know that, but cinema is one of the most severe case where we need to, understand how it is affected by COVID-19. Could you just put some lights on it?
Yes, of course, the emergency of the pandemic is affecting economy in general, and one of the most hurt is film industry, in the sense that, of course, the logic bring us in the directions to think that it's the first problem is that we cannot have a huge group of people inside of the theaters. So for now, we know the theater almost everywhere in the world they're closed. A few weeks ago, here in China, they tried to open 500, which is less than 5% of the theaters in the country, to just make a test, and they immediately realized that it's very dangerous. So we already know that this is going to be a problem for the distribution related directly to the relationship with the audience. They try to have some idea to set the theaters in a way that they can be safe, which means, the first ideas has been to create spaces. So, for example, one person sit and two other seats, they are empty. Of course, this means that the revenue of the entrepreneur that owns theaters will be 1/3 of what they usually get. Another solution is that they're trying to create new kind of theaters for this. But indeed, I'm pretty
So the
sure,
festivals
there will
are,
be
yeah,
a
so the
solution for
festivals
that.
are actually closed. The festivals
Yeah,
are
the thing
closed.
is that yes, exactly. The problem is that we have also the film event, the festivals all over the world. Cannes Film Festival already, and many other South by Southwest, many other festivals, they had to just have an online version of what they're doing, because of course festival means people that is inside of the theaters. So for this reason, also many of these festivals, which are also market, usually the Cannes Festival itself, besides the show of many new films, stars, basically the heart of Cannes is the European film market, which is one of the main industrial events. And it's an industrial event where people do meetings and where thousands, at least 1,000 usually every year, of films are shown in the theaters inside of the Palais. So this is not anymore possible, and it means that in the trading of films, something will be changing. So as you see, the for the distribution itself, the pandemic is revolutionizing more than one step into the chain of distribution. And of course, there is a solution that we are trying to understand how to apply for actually making it possible, and not stopping the machine, basically.
True, true. So, so the main advantage will be actually taken by the OTT platforms. So, could you just put some lights, uh, maybe on the OTT producers, how they are producing,
Mhm.
and what is the next step that most probably they are going to take? Maybe some.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. I think it's very interesting. Actually, mostly for your country, when I start to approach there in India, I know that the bandwidth is enlarged into many areas. And now the online platform, they are really thirsty for content from India. The last time I've been in Mumbai, actually, I saw in the airport a huge Netflix sign, which was welcoming everybody. And this is going to be the same all over the world now. Of course, Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and even other alternative kind of platform online for the streaming, like Movie, for example, which has maybe less mainstream films. But anyway, they are bringing over their model. Let me say that Netflix in particular, it was basically starting a sort of war against the system of the studios. So it's a war that includes, in some way, you know, the analogic, the classic, the historical way of making films, which a series of rules against the digital, the more fresh. This doesn't mean only the way that people is watching the films, but the way that the films are basically made. One of the things that is more probably revolutionizing in what Netflix is doing has been introduced by a TV show called Love, Sex and Robots, which is basically new kind of animation. So this animation is already some model for what is happening in the studio films, the one shot completely in the green screen. Like, I mean, some example has been 300, Sin Cities, all films where there is real actors and then, you know, motion capture inside of a green screen room. So this is something that Netflix is pushing a lot. Why? Because basically in this way, they don't have to follow the control of many venues and also, you know, the star system that could take advantage, you know, of the quality and mostly of the way the film are produced. So doing these high-level animation films, which they have really extreme photorealism in the sense that they look real, they crash many layers that in some way they are also a limit for the problems that COVID-19 is creating in film industry. If you shoot in the green screen and if you will shoot, you know, in animation, you know, with the motion capture. So let me explain briefly, you know, that basically people that is very sweet and then the movement are recreated with the CGI, no, with the computer graphic. So this is one of the way that is pushing more, you know, the business of the online platforms. And probably the studios, the big Hollywood studios, they will have to follow this direction. But indeed, you know, as I told you, these limits now, they're touching everybody in the film industry because of the emergency of the coronavirus. But what I truly believe is that limits make people creative. I mean, when you have a limit, you have to find a way, a more creative way, which is usually narrative quality for making things happen, you know, for keeping the same level. So, you know, let's say that there is a new sort of generation of independent, probably filmmakers that they will have more space because as we will see, you know, the new rules also for shooting the films are coming over.
So I think Professor UKC wants to ask you a question. So Professor, you can turn on your video. I'll allow you your, you know, video mode. So
no, I'm not going on video.
Okay.
I'm not going on video. I'm just asking on mic. First of all, I really appreciate this comment that our speaker has said that limits increase creativity. Necessity is the mother of invention. So it's not about Netflix alone, and it's not about OTT alone. One, there will be, and there is already a multiplicity of OTT platforms. In what I would expect now is OTT platforms in every Indian language, like the way we have Hoi Choi in Bengali. There will be Odia, Assamese, and other OTT platforms. Point one. Point two, going beyond OTT, standalone short films and standalone long films also will be streamed online. I mean, the release, instead of sometimes in theater, or rather along with theater, there will be also an online release going ahead. And in the short run, theater obviously is in crisis. I do not see theaters in India functioning till September at least, if not more. And that too with a lot of restrictions on physical distancing. So given this entire scenario, this high cost theater culture will actually has got a hit for a very long time now. So this the entire popcorn theater and Bollywood of high cost blockbusters and all, these all entire domain or ecosystem has got a hit. We would go more towards films like Duratto in Bangla, or everyone says I'm fine in English. So films like that, which are more thoughtful, more focused on life, more issue based, more psychological, less characters but a good story, where the story is the hero and not about Salman Khans and Saruk Khans of the world. So there will be a new
Absolutely.
form of filmmaking, in my opinion, new idiom and new grammar of filmmaking, but entertainment will remain. Now, the
True,
basic point I
true.
wanted to say was it's not about theater-based large format cinema, but a format neutral, convergent entertainment, which can
True.
sometimes come on television, sometimes come on screen, the mobile, sometimes come in any other form, and also in theaters to an extent. So this whole cost of production also would go down. These are some of my immediate comments based on what our respected speaker has rightly said. Limits leads
On
to
the
creations.
same line, Prioni, could you please enlighten about the how the shooting process will be changing? Could you just put some lights and thoughts on it?
Sure. Absolutely. Okay, I want to add to what the professor said. You know, in this moment, we have Universal Studios that they released some films that were supposed to go in theaters, like Trolls 2, the animation film for kids, directly online. And they say the results are amazing. They say they did 5 times the revenue, including they don't have expenses for that kind of distribution, than the one that usually they have in theaters. Plus, the Academy Awards, they announced that this year they will have the prize, considering also the film that they have been just released online. So this is a huge change in the education. But of course, you know, we need to find a way to shoot the films. So in the last weeks, in different countries, United States, Scandinavia, Italy as well, here in China, I've been talking with my friends. You know, I've been talking with the set where they're doing the new Johnny Mo film. You know, the most important Chinese director, you know, we did Red Lanterns, is shooting his new film, and Pass, and they are shooting in studios. So, you know, we are talking and we are reading news about how it's going to be the new way for making movies on set. What is going to be the limits? So, you know, one of the things that I read mostly say to sanitize everything and to wear masks and suits. Okay, you know, I think this is logic. I mean, this is the minimum that is possible to do. But indeed, in this moment, I'm shooting a second of 3 parts of a film, a feature film that I'm working on. The first part had been shot 2 months ago in Italy during the pandemic. And now, in this moment, I'm shooting the Chinese part. The next part will be in the United States. So we are preparing to shoot in also locations which are really in some way sensitive and dangerous, like an hospital. And of course, you know, we need to be really strict. And we are actually, I decided to create some specific rules that follow the logic of something that is possible to make. So the first thing is that the main problem is not trying to sanitize everything. Of course, we do this. We keep everything clean. But most important is that not create huge groups of people that stay together. So what it means, for example, we go on location, on set. So the director usually works 24 hours, 24/7, you know, during the filming it's necessary. So I will do it anyway in this case. But we go in the morning with the the production design crew. In this way, we will set the production design. In the afternoon, we go with the light crew, so cinematographer and the key grip, all the people that has to set the light. And in the third part, we go with the actors. So of course, you know, a filmmaker now that is listening this say, okay, but this is going to last forever if we have to shoot in this way. Yes, the truth is that it will requires more time. But if we educate the crew who work in this way, it is going to be a circle. I mean, they don't need to be available only for your film. And in the meanwhile, in, I don't know, the production design they're setting during the morning, something in the afternoon, they can set another location. It's very simple. It's just a different way of getting organized. And of course, the director cannot be in more places at the same time, but usually we are plenty of assistant director, second assistant director. The most important things before, but now more than before, is that we have to spend a lot of time doing pre-production. So everything will be precise and well known. This is what I'm doing. It's taking more time, but actually it's also more relaxed. I have to say that I feel better on the fact that they tell me, no, you cannot be more than 5 persons. So I don't have to have 100 persons around me to control. And I have an excuse now. Of course, this is a joke. It's good to work with a big crew because you can do many things at the same time. Now it's possible to do it again, but with a different kind of organization. As I said before, you know, limits make people creative. So this is also a creative form of production. And because we are afraid that some people of the crew can be sick. Okay, what we are doing now, and this is for me not I want to say against any limit of like against any right for human right, because you know there is some talking about if you ask to the people what they've been doing before, if they're sick, there is this talking about the application that in China they use to control the temperature of the people. But in this moment, there's nothing wrong to asking to somebody if you have high temperature and where you have been in the last 3 weeks. This is very simple. For me, it's not really a human rights restriction because if we carry the virus, we have a weapon that can kill a lot of people. So, you know, in this case, you know, we have to understand and be more united. So this is the reason why, for example, I'm doing casting now, and I explain to actors that come from actress and actors that come from other part of the countries that probably they will not able to be cast. But not because they are not good, but for simply because we need to respect the rules of the location that is allowing us to shoot. We pay. We can have an insurance. I remember that from time to time the film has been shot. We've been shooting films in very dangerous locations. We've been shooting in the jungle. We've been shooting, I mean, everywhere in the history of films. So if an insurance allows a crew to go to shoot in Amazonia, where they can take Ebola, which is quite more dangerous than coronavirus. I don't want to make the virus killing awards, but of course, you know, there is places where it's very dangerous, and they go to shoot there. They take the insurance. Somebody go there, you know, of the crew and get sick. Somebody break his legs. There is dangerous. As well as there is dangerous because when we have an actor, mostly, you know, when we have popular actors, in the agreement that we make, we tell, look, you cannot use the motorbike, for example, because if you use the motorbike while we are shooting the film and you break your leg, for us it's a disaster. This is some rules that they don't crush human rights. They simply give a discipline which is necessary in a moment of danger. So I don't think that with this logic, things change really so much. You know, there is a different approach for the health condition of one person. There is the adult industry, which used to do it since ever. I mean, you have to show that you are healthy. Of course, this is something, I mean, a little bit extreme, you know, we're talking, but indeed, it is an industry itself. So we just add that in the contract that we have with our actors and with our crew as well, they have to tell us, okay, where have you been in the last weeks? Because this is very important. And I see in the media, few people understand. It's not if you have the temperature today important. It is important, the investigation of your health conditions. If I know that I've been in a place where
Pironi,
yes.
I have an interesting question on the same context.
Yes.
So I have been doing a couple of virtual reality based content using certainly using, we are making games, certainly using the drone. We did few of the shooting for one of the Chinese partner of ours, you know. So on those kind of aspect, VR filming is completely different, and doing a live shooting are completely different. Most probably post COVID-19, the filming in VR would most probably change a lot in the market. Could you please touch upon those small aspects, how it is going to affect?
Thank you for the question. Actually, yes, I have a virtual reality company since now it's almost 4 years, I think, and Polyhedron VR Studio. And yes, with the virtual reality, we are doing a lot of experimentation. And we realized that it's possible to use virtual reality also to shoot after and during COVID-19 from remote. Yep. Okay, the first idea came to me because one film that has been released by Netflix this year by Martin Scorsese called The Irishman. So the director of photography needed to recreate the face of the actors, to de-age the actors, you know, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci. And he created Arrigo cameras, which he called Hydra, like the monster. And they were basically scanning, they were shooting 360-degree the environment of the location of the set where they were shooting. In this way, they can track the lighting, you know, the way that the set is prepared, and recreate into the virtual reality in CGI. So we shoot 360 for a flat film, for a traditional film, but we shoot the whole set in 360, so we can recreate it and control it from remote, thanks to virtual reality. So in this moment, I'm preparing the development of the pre-production for the shooting that I have to do in United States, and we are using the same method. So basically, I'm here shooting in China, and at the same time, I have my crew in the United States, which stream the 360 environment of the location. We have a grocery store where there will be an action scene, and in this way, we are setting the production design and the lighting design. Okay, it's of course it's a little bit more complicated. It asks for a more open mind to work in this way, but this is one of the approach that virtual reality can use to help a lot in the film industry. Of course, another thing that virtual reality for the regular audience will help is the fact that actually through the headset, to the glasses, you know, we can watch films.
Certainly,
actually,
there are actually options like KEV systems, boom tube, the acupressure point systems, which are actually available. KEV system is no more nowadays, but yes, I would love to show you. I'd love to show you my one of my screen. Have a look. We are not actually from India. We are not behind. So in 2016, we did this. Can you see my screen?
It's okay. Yes.
So these are the 3D characters we did for the special effects for these movies. So
Yes.
this is
Very
G is one of the,
photorealistic.
yeah, this is one of the superstar over here in Calcutta. So I'm just showing
Yes.
few stuff from Calcutta only. I can go beyond Calcutta. I can go Bollywood as well. But so these are the kind of perfection we already did in the past. And India is actually moving towards, very large amount of accepting technology in terms of creativity, in terms of virtual reality, in terms of filming, a lot of different stuff. So I
I
have a
really
very
hope
serious small
you
question. I have a small
very
one-liner
good.
question. So
I know
uh,
really well that, yeah, that you're doing very interesting things, and we have very good solution for prices here from China for setting theaters. So if you need, let's say, 400 headset, we can have a very good price for that. This
that's the
is
question I wanted to ask you. That's the question I
yes.
wanted to ask you. So I can see a lot of
Oh, Mara.
filmmakers. Yeah, I can see a lot of filmmakers over here. In the audience. I
Yes.
know Shayantan very well. He's a amazing guy in VFX. I can see a lot of other guys like AKB and certainly UKC and all. So for the audience, what is your proposition? What will be the pricing for the next generation VR movies, because it's going to come down a little bit. Before it was different. Now it's going to come down. It's going to settle down. So, what is the pricing policy that you feel as a suggestion we should go forward?
Okay, for all the limitation we are going through, it will be really necessary in the moment that for the mass audience is needed more virtual reality, that the price of the devices lowers down. If we think that entertainment machine like a PlayStation cost $200, maybe less, and you can spend a lot of time playing there. I see, I don't know now, Netflix probably cost $150 per year.
Yeah.
So we cannot afford anymore to sell $1,000 for an headset for the quality. It's necessary to find a way to set $100 maximum. This kind of prices that will be necessary for letting the people enjoy content for less price, because the more they will reach the audience, the more it will be possible to break down the prices. And this is unfortunately, I'm a content creator, and I have a lot of friends in the manufacturer. I basically know everybody, but I have no power but giving them advices that this is the right moment to give. And mostly, we are trying to work, thanks to you, with countries like China, India, where it's possible to have mass distribution. This mass distribution would allow the industry to flower, because we cannot only do education. I created an education method, it's Dogma VR, for doing creating virtual reality content. But we need, first of all, having the platforms and the devices that will allow the people to enjoy virtual reality. So if the industry close this gap, it will be perfect.
Yes.
And yes, prices will go down. And when prices go down, you have content, you have entertainment, you have lifestyle for everybody. This is the way that we will be able to bring in the house of everybody smart glasses and a VR headset, in my opinion. But it's basically the opinion of everybody in the industry, since several years, from the small creator to Mark Zuckerberg.
So I'm actually in touch with one of the startup based out of Finland. They are making this kind of glasses as augmented
Yes.
reality content showing glasses. They're trying to
Yes.
come up with a model of very cheap manufacturing of these glasses. In fact, I have invested in one company based out of South Korea. They are making gesture control devices. So I'll share you most probably the company details. A lot
Okay.
of things are happening in the industry. On the same context, I think Shayantan got a question, but we have a limited time of only 3 minutes. I need to thank my speaker to
Yeah,
come
we are
here.
almost out of time,
Yeah,
unfortunately. Yes.
yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Shayantan, over to you. Please ask your question.
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you so much, Mr. Puroni, for giving us your time, your valuable time. Thank you so much. And
You're
also to
welcome.
Mr. Bhattacharya for, thank you, sir, for hosting this. My question quickly is that now that the traditional movie viewing and distribution business is largely shifting online, now that the big studios are looking to shift majorly online, like you mentioned, Troll 2,
Mhm.
which is probably which is probably going down in the history books as the first one to be shifting from hall release,
Exactly.
from theater release to online release. Now that what will happen to independent creators on YouTube or independent on platforms such as YouTube and Facebook who are making their own videos
You're
on a
talking about the
shoestring budget?
indie. You're talking
What
about
will
the
happen?
indie. You're talking about the indie filmmakers, right?
Not even the filmmakers, the content creators, regular
Content creators.
people with
Okay.
a YouTube channel.
YouTubers.
Will
Well,
will the
YouTubers is
demand
a different
increase?
kind of filmmakers. Yes.
Yeah.
So actually, there is so much. I mean, basically, the situation that is now, the new norm they're talking about, is spending more time at home. So there will be a lot of
Yes.
thirst for home entertainment. I'm pretty sure that nothing is going to happen bad to YouTube because it's a service that allows journalism mostly, and this new kind of journalism, which is, people talking about their own business, which is evolution of gossip. So in this direction, Vimeo will keep on being for professional, for short films, and also the open to VR. YouTube will be this that I call new journalism. And the platform like, again, Netflix, Hulu, and, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, each one with their own format, with their own method, that you will keep on giving a chance. So in some way, it is a positive thing. I mean, if there is a request for more content, it will be more possibility to have distribution. Of course, it will be necessary. I will be very fast to be able to shoot with limitations, which means less money or more creativity. It's not necessary. I mean, we talk always about the budget, but indeed, it's the creativity you put behind it that
True.
makes
Right.
the difference.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much, Pironi, for your time, for your knowledge.
We are almost over to the limit of
Yes,
Zoom,
I know. Yeah,
which
I know.
now we are all using. I think, let me say the last thing. Now that I'm using Zoom, I used to have it sometimes before to talk with my partner in Mexico, but I realized that now Zoom is going to be a new platform for communication, and maybe they will open also a channel for streaming films.
Hopefully, yes. A lot of
Yeah.
things are coming up. Even in the Cisco platform, a lot of things are coming up. Microsoft is creating a different channel for video streaming. Well, with this note, thank you so much, and we'll be more than
Thank you very
happy and
much.
glad. We'll be more than happy and glad to host you over here in City of Joy in India with a lot of spicy foods, a lot of love and a lot of care. Certainly, we'll go for a more professional way with this.